There is a man who texts first every time, compliments her constantly, clears his schedule the moment she calls, does everything right, on paper, and she still loses interest. Then there is another man. He does not chase. He does not perform. He does not rearrange his life for her approval. And somehow, she cannot stop thinking about him. That gap right there? That is not luck. That is not looks. That is not money. That is hidden power. And most men do not even know it exists. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what that hidden power is, and more importantly, how it works on a psychological level that most men have never been taught. 4 things. 4 shifts. And by the end of this, you will understand why some men naturally pull attention without trying, and why trying too hard is often the exact thing that pushes it away. Let's get into it. 1. Unshakable stillness. Most men react. Something feels uncertain, they reach out. She seems a little distant, they start explaining themselves. She goes quiet, they panic and fill the silence. That constant reacting? It tells a woman everything she needs to know about your emotional foundation. And what it tells her is, you do not feel safe inside yourself. Here is the thing about stillness. It is not passiveness. It is not playing it cool. It is not the silent treatment. Stillness means your internal world does not get thrown around by external circumstances. It means you can sit in uncertainty without flinching. It means you do not need every interaction to be resolved immediately just to calm your own anxiety. Think about the men in your life who carry themselves that way. Nothing rattles them. Not silence. Not tension. Not conflict. They just stay level. That is magnetic. Because in a world full of men who are constantly reacting, a man who stays still stands out instantly. Women feel it the moment they are around him. There is no chaos orbiting him. No emotional turbulence. No desperate energy leaking through every message. Just calm, grounded presence. And that presence does something quiet but powerful. It makes her feel like being around you is a relief, not a project. That is rare. And rare things get pursued. TWO, standards that you actually live by. Here is something most men get completely wrong. They think having standards means rejecting women. It does not. Having standards means you have a clear picture of the life you are building, and you do not compromise that picture just because someone attractive walked in the room. Let me show you the difference. A man without real standards says yes to plans that do not fit him. He tolerates behavior that bothers him because he does not want to rock the boat. He pretends things are fine when they are not. He adjusts who he is based on who he is trying to impress. A man with real standards does none of that. Not because he is harsh. Not because he is difficult. But because he genuinely respects his own time, his own values, and his own direction. And here is the psychological truth behind this. When a woman senses that a man has real standards, standards he actually lives by, not ones he just talks about, she automatically places him in a different category. He becomes harder to read. He becomes harder to predict. And that uncertainty, that sense that he could walk away from something that does not serve him, including her, creates a quiet pull she cannot fully explain. It is not manipulation. It is self-respect made visible. And self-respect is one of the most underrated forms of attraction that exists. 3. Depth over performance. A lot of men perform. They perform confidence. They perform success. They perform being unbothered. And women see through it almost immediately. Because performance has a texture. It feels slightly off. Slightly forced. Like watching someone act calm instead of actually being calm. Depth is different. Depth means you have something going on underneath the surface. You have thought about your life. You have wrestled with hard questions. You have experiences, values, and a perspective that are genuinely yours. A man with depth does not need to fill every silence with noise. He does not need to impress in the first 10 minutes. He does not need validation from the conversation to feel good about himself. He is already interesting before he says a single word, because you can feel that something is there. Think about the most compelling people you have ever met. Not the loudest. Not the most outgoing. The ones you walked away from and thought, I want to know more about that person. That is depth. And it is something you build through how you live, not something you perform through how you act. Read more. Think more. Experience more. Have opinions you can actually defend. Know what you believe and why you believe it. Because a man who has built something real inside himself does not need to chase anyone. The curiosity he creates does the work for him. 4. Leading without needing permission. This is the one that changes everything. Most men wait. They wait for a signal. They wait for her to make it obvious. They wait for guaranteed safety before they step forward. And in that waiting, they communicate one thing clearly: I am not sure of myself. Leadership in attraction has nothing to do with being bossy. It has nothing to do with control. It means you make decisions. You suggest the plan. You set the direction. You handle uncertainty without crumbling. When a man can do that, when he can move forward with calm certainty and not need permission to lead, it creates something most men never experience. She starts leaning toward him. Not because he demanded it, but because he created a space where she feels like she can relax. Women are attracted to men they can trust to hold their ground. Not men who are trying to figure out what she wants and then become that. The men who lead with quiet confidence and genuine self-assurance, they do not have to chase. Because pursuit starts flowing naturally toward them. And that is the whole point. So let's bring this together. The hidden power that makes women pursue you is not about tactics. It is not about lines. It is not about playing any kind of game. It is this: unshakable stillness. Your inner world stays grounded regardless of what is happening around you. Real standards. You live by your values, and you do not abandon them for approval. Genuine depth. You have built something real inside yourself that does not need performance. Leading without permission. You move forward with quiet certainty and do not wait for guaranteed safety. These 4 things, when a man carries them genuinely, he stops being someone women assess. He becomes someone women think about when he is not there. That is the shift. Not louder. Not more impressive. Just more solid. Because hidden power does not announce itself. It is simply felt. And once a woman feels it, she cannot unfeel it. If this gave you something to think about, drop a comment below. I read all of them. If you want more videos like this, hit subscribe. I put out content every week on building real presence and genuine confidence. And if you want to go deeper, the next video is right there. It covers something most men completely overlook in the early stages of attraction. I will see you in that one.